Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In this video here, what's going on over there? Oh, there you go. In this video, I will give you information. I will give you information that is true. Honest people should not dislike the truth, because if they dislike the truth, that means they are bad people. So if you don't like the truth, that means you are a bad person, because you should not be upset, being revealed the truth. And everything I'm going to reveal here is true. So I don't want you to get too upset, YouTube. Okay? So I will show you who is in charge of the nation of Ukraine. Who is in charge of Ukrainians? Okay? Ukrainians. So I have here an article right here from Ukrinform, and we have these two guys. We have Umerov and Syrsky discuss ammunition supplies with Austin. Remember, I'm going to pick the right words, and I would like you to pay attention. Here, we start with these guys. Syrsky, who is the Ukraine's defense, let's start with the other one. Colonel Syrsky, right? He is the Ukrainian Armed Forces Commander-in-Chief. Here, right here. He is the Ukrainian Armed Forces. He is Russian. Remember, this guy right here is Russian. This guy right here, who is the defense minister of Ukraine, Umerov, he's Tatar. So these are the guys in charge of the Ukrainian nation's military. Ukrainian nations is a Russian and a Tatar. And they spoke with Austin. And Austin is an American. Right there. This is Lloyd Austin, an American, and he is the defense secretary. So he is the counterpart of the Tatar. American, Tatar, Russian, right? American. Move on. We go to the next one. In charge of the Ukrainian nation is this weasel. Vladimir Zelensky. He's Jewish. He's the president. Now, the president, he appointed these guys, Denis Shmihal, as the prime minister, the second in command. He is also Jewish. Don't get upset. These are facts. You don't like the facts? Now, the next one. We have, remember, Umerov, Tatar, and I'm going to have a honorific mention. Oleksiy Reznikov. This is also Jewish. He was a defense minister before the Tatar was the defense minister. So we got Reznikov, who was fired because of corruptions in the defense ministry. He's doing just fine. Just fine. No investigation on him. I'm not done. Next one. We're going to go to this guy. Andriy Yermak. He is the guy in charge of the president's office, like a chief of staff. Do you know who's the White House chief of staff? It's another Jewish guy, but it doesn't really matter. But you don't know his name, do you? I can't remember his name. He's not involved. You don't hear from him because he's not involved, or at least we don't hear from him. This guy is everywhere. Okay, he's Jewish. He was, again, appointed by his friend. Right here. So remember, Andriy Yermak, right? Oh, I'm sorry. This is Weinstein. I made a mistake. I think these guys look very similar. That's all. Look at some pictures, right? Pam. Now I know this is all clean up here, but look at some pictures. So you tell me, my friends, who the hell is in plain view in charge of Ukraine? If they're in charge of Ukraine. You got a Russian, you got a Tatar, you got what? Three. You tell me. Anything wrong with that? Well, you see, I know that's just a coincidence, but I would like to see the same thing in another country. Not of the same, No. Let's say in Romania you would have, I don't know, in charge of their military intelligence and president and prime minister, you will have all, I don't know, Hungarians or Bulgarians. Or in Bulgaria you will have Romanians. And then in France you will have Germans. And in Germany you're going to have, I don't know, Portuguese. And in Portugal you're going to have, I don't know, some Russians. And in Russians you're going to have Americans. And in America you're going to have people from Zimbabwe. Why? Why would that be normal instead of saying the Ukrainians are in charge of the Ukrainians, the Americans are in charge of the Americans, Israelis are in charge of Israel, the French are in charge of France? Wouldn't that be normal? Is it something that it's something that is illegal now? Why would I want that? Why would I want, for instance, in charge of my family to be the neighbor? But in charge of the neighbor's family would be someone from my family. Why would I want that? I tell you why. Because like this, you destroy the fabric of the society. And therefore, the guys on top of all of us can control us easier. If you think that's right, then I guess you get not the neighbor, someone from a different continent being your father. And your father, I don't know, is going to be the father of that guy's on the other continent's family. Why would we want to do it like that? Don't give me shit because they try to tell me tolerance and all that. No, with tolerance we get to these things. Remember, I don't think you will ever see, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. You will never see this. In the state of Israel, let's say the chief of Mossad being an Iranian. And then let's say the president would be a Palestinian, and then I don't know, or all of them Iranians, I don't know, including the prime minister. No Netanyahu is going to be, I don't know, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, let's say, Iranian. Why would the Israelis want to see that? They will not see that, but I'm just saying, why would they want to see that? Under what kind of tolerance you want me to have a, If you want that, you can have it in your family, but I don't think that's right in society. I will tell you this fact from Romania. I said it before, and it was during the communist times. During the communist times, the communists were appointing the Soviets, the Soviet tanks, because on the Soviet tanks was, for instance, Anna Pauker, no Russian. It was a Trotsky kind, It was Walter Roman, Patapievich, and others. No Russians, but they came from Soviet Union as communists. And they were planted over on top of the Romanian nation. Why? Because those guys would have no problem of doing a lot of crimes. And they did. They committed a lot of crimes towards the Romanian people. And we say, well, Romanians did against Romanians. No. We know exactly who did it. And again, they were appointing, let's say, in an area where there were a majority, let's say, Hungarians, they were appointing Romanians in the police to be in charge. In areas where you have Romanians and you have nationalists, they would appoint gypsies, or they would appoint Hungarian minorities from Romania. Why? Because they will have no problem to following certain kind of orders in case those guys will think of doing something. Why? They had no connection with those guys. Imagine, let's say, a Romanian nationalist in the middle of some Hungarians. And he received an order, you gotta put down this rebellion. Do you think he's gonna have a problem? Do you think I will twitch doing that? And vice versa, do you think a Ukrainian Hungarian nationalist put in place, I don't know, in Bucharest, in the police station, receiving an order from the guys, do you think they will have a problem giving the orders to put down the rebellion or something? They would not have. That was the main point. In Romania, when you have after high school or college, you mandatory go to the military. 9 months if you go to college, 1 year and 6 months if you just graduated high school. And they would not appoint you in the same town. So let's say I'm from, let's say, Washington, D.C. They would not, I would not do my military stage over there. They will send me to Oregon. And the guy from Oregon will send it to Washington, D.C. area. Why? So again, we don't identify with one another. These are not my... Because if you would, they keep you on the same thing, you can create enclaves. Those guys from this group, they have the military, they have the police. They might think of something, break away. These are facts. You don't like it? Well, you're a bad dude. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.